Okay, wilderness skills for second grade. All right, so today what we're going to be learning is things to help you when you get lost. And then we're also going to be learning how to make a survival bed and how to make a quick shelter. So those activities, some of them, we're going to do them inside. And then when we're on campus, we'll do them outside because right now it's too smoky. So we're going to do everything inside. So don't worry about that. Okay, so we're going to review STOP. Remember what STOP stands for? S is for stop, T is for think, O is for observe, and P is for plan. So when you get lost, when you realize that you're lost, the first thing that you should do is stop. And then you should think about what you have in your backpack and what you have on you that could help you, like a whistle or a jacket if it's cold, things that would help you get unlost or stay safe. The next thing that you should do is observe, right? So look around at your surroundings and see if you notice anything familiar, or also if you're in any danger, because you want to make sure that you stay away from danger. And then finally, you want to make a plan. So you want to make sure you're blowing your whistle or you're sitting somewhere that's comfortable and off the ground so you don't lose heat and you stay warm. Okay, so when somebody gets lost, it's pretty scary, right? But so what we have to do is we got to talk about our feelings and find ways that can help us calm down. Because sometimes when we are scared, we can do things maybe that don't help us. And so we want to first calm our feelings and try to be as calm as possible. So keeping calm will really help you. You want to think when you start to get scared, if you're lost, you want to think of things that will make you happy. Because if you can think of things that will make you happy, then you'll be able to think clear, and then you'll be able to make a plan so that you can try to get found. One of those things that you can do to help you feel happy when you're scared is sing, whistle, or tell yourself jokes. Okay, so when you're lost and you hear a noise, a good rule is to remember answer noise with noise. So if you hear a human, what should you do? Like if you're lost and you hear a human.
You say, hello?
Hello, I'm over here, help. Whatever it is, right? So if it's a person looking for you, then if you can be heard, then they are more likely to find you. So if you see an animal, what do you think you should do?
If it's a bear, make yourself look big and back away slowly.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's a wolf,
and what we're talking about right now is answering noise with noise. So if it's a bear, you want to make noise, you want to make yourself big, you want to make sure that because if you're staying quiet, sometimes people get scared and they go quiet, but if you hear noise, answer with noise. So whether that's a person you hear or an animal that you hear, you make noise back, okay? And if it's an animal that you hear, usually animals don't want human interaction, and so they'll get scared and they'll run away. Does that make sense? Does anyone have questions about that? Yeah, Ellery. Oh, Ellery, can you unmute yourself?
One time when you were explaining over, you stopped for a little bit.
Oh, I stopped for a little bit. Okay, can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I was saying was that thank you for telling me, Ellery. When you hear noise, if you're lost, then you should answer back with noise. So if it's an animal, instead of getting quiet, you should make noise, because usually an animal will get scared of you and it'll run away. And if you hear a human noise and you're lost, then you want to make noise so that then they can find you. So always remember, answer noise with noise. Celeste? then you can tell them that you're lost and they can contact, oh, sorry guys.
Wait, what? Where did you go?
At first I thought that was a wolf. I was like, oh God.
Sorry about that. Okay.
Dog's name.
So if it's a random person that you don't know, then you can tell them that you're lost. And if you have a phone number for one of your grown-ups, then you can give them that phone
What if
number.
it's a bad guy?
Or they can contact the Forest Service and they can help find your parents.
What if it's a bad guy? What should you do?
Usually it's not, if you're lost, you want to find another human, right? So usually it's going to always be a good person. Yeah, Celeste?
What if their phone isn't on them and they're on a hike really far from their house?
Then they can help walk you to a main trail, but at least you'll be with another grown-up so they can help you. Ellery?
What if you see like a campsite and people are camping?
Oh, that's a good question. So if you're lost and you see a campsite and you see people, then go towards the people and tell them, say, hey, I'm Ellery and I'm lost. Can you help me? Yes, that's a very good question. Yes, Parker.
What if you're stuck on a train track and you're lost and there's no way you can get off of it because it's like a very thin bridge and a train comes storming towards you? What do you do?
Well, I don't have an answer for that, but hopefully that doesn't happen. And hopefully you never get stuck on a train track. But you never want to play on train tracks. Never, ever. Don't play on train tracks. They are so dangerous. What?
I know you duck down really low.
Duck down really low.
Yeah, because trains don't have wheels all the way across. It's just side, but it can be really low. So that's why you want to get really low down.
Oh, okay. There you go.
In this movie called I forget it, but it was the second one, and then this dog, a truck went over him, so he went.
Oh man.
Hands above your head.
Wow. Jack?
What if you find someone but it's another lost kid?
Oh, that would be bad. But then you guys should stick together.
Oh yeah, what if it's like a kid from school that you know?
Well, then maybe,
I was lost, and then I saw Jack.
well, then maybe you can put your heads together and come up with a plan, right? Because you stop, think, observe, plan. But you want to stick Together. And that's a good point, Jack. If you get lost with your friend, should you guys split up and go different directions?
Well, what if a pet finds you, like a dog, and it saves you? Should you let the dog save you or run away?
Well, it depends. If it's a nice dog, if you think that it's gonna.
Another movie, the first one, the same one, but the first one, a dog saved a little girl who was lost.
Yeah, that's amazing. It happens all the time. Search and rescue often uses dogs to help find people. So yeah, that's okay. Then let the dog find you. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next. You guys have great questions. Keep asking them if you have something. Okay, so really,
tries to bite you and attack you.
Then you should try to get away from it. Climb a tree, because usually dogs can't climb a tree. So I would try to climb a tree if there's a dog that's attacking you. Okay.
What I would do is run for my life.
But then you might get more lost, right? So you probably want to.
Then it would like chase after you and alert other dogs, and dogs can be fast.
Dogs are very fast. Yeah.
And really strong. I met a dog, one of my dog's friends, and it pulled me on my grass.
Oh my
pulled me.
Whoa, that's
literally.
That is a strong dog.
Break your bone.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next part. So, a really, really, really important thing when you are lost is you want to make sure that you stay dry, warm and dry. Staying warm and dry can save your life. Because if you get cold and wet, then you can get hypothermia, you can get sick. So number one rule is staying warm and dry. So never take off any clothes. You need to cover up as much skin as you can. And if you're wearing a sweater or jacket, you should button it or zip it all the way up to keep warm. Unless, of course, it's hot. If you're hot, then yeah, you can take it off. But when the sun starts to set, like, you should make sure all your layers are on and buttoned up and zipped up. So the most important part of your clothing is your hat, or is something that covers your head. So over 70% of your body heat escapes from your head. So it's a good idea to always carry like a beanie with you when you pack your backpack to go hiking, just in case, because you'll want to keep your head nice and warm. Yeah, Ellery?
Could you wear like one of those ski masks where you put all over your face, only your eyes and mouth?
Yeah,
Where just your eyes can see?
yeah. If you had one of those, you could wear that. That would keep your head warm. Okay, so you should, after you make sure that everything is buttoned up and zipped up, you should find a cozy waiting place, not a hiding spot. Parker, did you have a question?
I just read that a cozy waiting place means a warm place out of the wind and rain, but not a place where searchers cannot see you. Under a large tree is a good place. Why a large tree if there could be a lightning storm? Then it would strike the tree. Then a fire would happen, and then most case scenario, you're gonna get stuck on there.
Yeah, that's true. So I put a large tree on there because it's a good base camp for you. So it's easy to identify. It's easy for searchers to see something that's big. So and also usually there's like either branches that you can sit on under a tree or rocks,
I would find
leaves.
I would find like this huge rock that would overlap, so it'd go like this.
Yeah.
But so searchers can still find me.
Yeah. So you want to just.
And even it would block me from lightning, basically, because.
That's a good idea. That's a great idea, Parker. So you just want to make sure that it's kind of open so that
So it's like a cave, but it's like.
Yeah. So if there was like a hollowed out log, you wouldn't want to crawl in the log, right? Because then people couldn't see you. So you want to make sure that you're seen, but that you're protected.
Right there and get you.
Yeah. So find a cozy waiting spot, but not a hiding spot. Don't hide if you're lost. So you should put something bright on. So if you have in your backpack different layers, you should make sure that your brightest layer is over the top. So say I was wearing a bright yellow shirt, and then I was wearing a brown jacket. So I probably would want to take my brown jacket and put it on first, and then put my bright yellow shirt on top so that people can see me easier. And that might look funky, but that doesn't matter, because if you're lost, you're just trying to get found. But you want all your layers on, but you want your brightest layer on top. And if you have lots of bright colors, then you could wear your brightest layer on top, and then you can take another bright piece of clothing and tie it like onto a stick to make a flag to try to get people's attention. Okay, we talked about this already, but you should not lie on the bare ground. Why shouldn't you lie on the bare ground? Celeste.
Because it could be colder on the ground, and also if it's because the ground it could be cold or wet. If it rains,
I can't hear Celeste.
and it rains, then water.
Me either.
Hold on, I can hear her. I'll say it again because she was really quiet, but I could hear her if you turn your volume all the way up. So she was saying that you shouldn't stay on the ground because it can get wet on the ground if it rains, and that the ground is usually colder. So good job, Celeste. Yes, so the cold ground can rob your body from heat. So it sucks the heat out of your body if you just are sitting on it or laying down on it. So you want to make sure that you're building something. Yeah, Poppy?
This is sort of a fun fact. There was a guy who was lost in the giant red ones, and he spent a whole year in a goose pen. A goose pen is 2 trees that connected over the years, and people used to keep animals in them.
That's amazing.
He spent a whole year in there.
What a brave guy. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that fun fact. That is definitely a fun fact. Okay, so if you are lost and you need a place, like because you don't want to lay on the bare ground, a good idea is to build a survival mattress or survival bed. So build a mattress using available materials like branches, moss, leaves, anything that you can see that's going to get you up off of the ground and will be more comfortable. So you wouldn't want to do like a bunch of rocks, right? But you would want to do things that would be more comfortable to lay on. So this mattress, you should try to make it as thick as your mattress at home. So that's pretty thick, right? So you just want to keep collecting things and putting it on. So if you see this picture right here, this is a survival bed. And so what this person did is they laid down a bunch of branches and leaves across here, and then they found 2 sticks to help secure them and hold them in place. So then it kind of looks like a bed. Pretty cool, huh? So then after you finish your mattress, your forest mattress, then you can gather the same amount of materials and use it as blankets. So say you're using leaves for your mattress, then after your mattress is built, then you probably want to get more leaves to put them on top of you so you stay warm. Ellery? Hope you're on mute, Ellery.
Oh.
Can you say that again?
Got 2 questions.
Yes.
So, what if you get hungry and thirsty and you don't have any water left or you don't have any food left?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, it's really important to wait for a grown up. So you, instead of trying to get water and stuff, you want to first wait and see if you can be found because there can be a lot of dangerous stuff around water. So like if you went near a lake or a stream, then you want to wait until an adult finds you to go do that. And remember, you might feel thirsty, but you can survive for 3 days without water, right? So you'll be okay for a little while. Okay. So when should you eat berries that you find? Parker?
Well, it's something about the last thing.
Yeah?
Why you shouldn't be on the ground. Fair ground. Exactly in the name of it. Plenty of animals can get you there.
Yeah, there'll be more
Also,
there.
you can get berries. And also with the water thing,
Mhm.
maybe if you had like a filter with you, and there is a type of nut that I'm already 100% sure it's safe to eat.
Good. Yes.
It's called, we call it chipmunk food. It's the things that fly out of trees with the nut and with the seed inside of it.
Yeah, cool.
There's this wrapper kind of, you take that off, and then if it's not raw, which is, if it isn't raw, it's this nice white and full, you can eat that.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, so we are going to be learning about different things that are safe to eat around us, around in the Tahoe area or the Reno area. So you should never, ever, ever eat anything that you know that you're not 100% certain is safe. So if you are 100% sure that something is safe, then you can eat it. If you just like, if I saw these berries and I was lost and I didn't know what they were, I shouldn't eat them. Because if I don't know what it is, these could be poisonous berries. So we're going to be learning what things are safe to eat and a few tricks to be able to identify different plants that are safe. It's better to feel hungry than it is to feel sick. So you might get a little bit hungry if you're lost, but it's better to just wait than to put something in your mouth that you don't know if it's poisonous or not. Does anyone have questions about that? No? Okay. So you should stay away from large rivers and lakes. So this is what we were just talking about. Like, what if you get thirsty? You must have drinking water to survive, but be careful where you get it from. So if it's a big body of water, you should wait until hopefully you're found. Unless it's been like 3 days, then you need to get water, right? And you should don't go near any large bodies of water. Instead, drink water from a supply that is smaller. So a good rule is like, is the water smaller than what I am? So if it's a little tiny stream, that you can cross over, that would be safe to go get water from, right? But if it's a big lake, that's way bigger than you are. So you should try to find a little body of water to get water from, because that'll be safer in case you slip or something. Yeah, Parker?
What I would do is get your water bottle out, and if you're trying to catch a rainstorm, because I know clouds water is perfect for you, so just get your water bottle out and leave it out so the rain can just come in.
Yeah, you can also collect rainwater. Yeah, that's good, Parker. Another source of water, kind of like along the lines that Parker was saying, is if, say, you're lost and you end up staying the night in the woods, then in the morning, a lot of the time, do you guys know what dew is? Like tiny droplets on leaves. That can be a water source.
Surprisingly, I just learned what dew is. It's in the morning, it's fog. Fog is basically dew, and there's actually water inside of dew. So
yeah, and it collects on things, so you can collect water from the dew in the morning. Okay, so we're gonna watch this little video, and hopefully you guys can hear the noise. Let me see if I can.
So cute, that little kid is adorable.
Okay, if you can't hear it, then we'll just watch it, okay? And I'll narrate it. Can you guys hear it?
Hey guys, we're here for part 2 of training your kids for survival, and the way we're going to do this is we're going to lay out.
We're going to skip it a little bit.
Why is Tracker wants to sleep in here? He's tired.
Mm-hmm. Tracker likes it in here.
So they built a little shelter. So this is what we're going to be building next.
So after we've taught our kids about danger areas, then we've got to teach them how to protect themselves from the elements. Not only with, things like a poncho, but...
Can you guys hear the video, the guy talking? Yeah? Okay.
But it keeps breaking up for me.
Oh, it does?
Mm-hmm.
Not for me. But can you just start it over? Because I want to see all of it.
You want to see the whole video? Well, it's talking about different things. Who wants to watch the whole thing? You guys are interested in watching the whole thing? Okay, we can watch the whole thing. Yeah, especially since we're not going outside today, we have time.
And
here we go.
The way we're going to do this is we're going to lay out the priorities. We're going to lay out, especially for the really younger kids, what is the most important steps in teaching them about. And in the first episode, we talked about, getting their clothing correct, getting them a survival kit, and just getting the basics so that we can get out into the woods and how to treat that clothing and other things that we can do with it. So if you haven't seen the first video, then make sure that you check that out. The purpose of this video is to talk about the dangers and then also how to deal with shelter. Shelter is so important because so many kids die, getting lost in the woods due to exposure. And yeah, baby, I'm making a video. Hold on. So, one of the biggest things that they're going to have to deal with if they ever get lost from you is the weather. You know, so we've got to teach them about shelter. But there's a lot of other dangers out there, guys. You know, we've protected them from the bugs by treating their clothing. You know, and there's things like plants. We need to be mindful of the plants that are in our local area so that we can, you know, tell our kids not to eat things and, you know, not to try different things unless they're there and unless you know, because plants can be one of the most deadly things to kids in a really short, you know, manner, because they'll eat things that we'd never eat. And he's over there calling it out. So we need to be mindful of the plants that are in our area and educate our kids not to eat things that, you know, that they find in the woods unless we've trained them how to do that. I'm not going to get into a million different things that are dangerous, but because everybody's local area is different, but you need to be mindful of large animals, you know, such as bears, mountain lions, and if those animals are in the area, what to do if your child encounters them. And you need to prep your kid. If there are animals like that in the woods, then you need to maybe even give them a little mace bottle or something like that that they can only carry with them and use in emergency. But, you know, there's a million different options. But really the important thing that we're going to talk about here today is shelter. And we're going to move on to shelter and show you how to throw some improvised things together.
That's Daddy's shelter. Yeah, that's Daddy's survival shelter. Yeah, keeps you real warm. I build a big fire in it. What are you doing? You want to see in Daddy's, that's called a wickiup. It's like a teepee. It's a wickiup. Can you say that?
Daddy, come in. Come in, Daddy. It's so dark in here.
I know, Daddy has fires in here.
Can you go get fire?
Maybe in a little while.
Can't even. What's that?
That's where Daddy sleeps. It's called a debris hut.
Why is Tracker wants to sleep in here. He's tired.
Mm-hmm. Tracker likes it in here.
I like it in here.
So after we've taught our kids about danger areas, then we've got to teach them how to protect themselves from the elements. Not only with, you know, things like a poncho, but they need to be able to make shelter, you know, whether it be an improvised shelter from the land or just something they throw together for, you know, a poncho or something like this. But the number one thing that I tell my students, as well as my parents out there, is that the first thing that you're going to want to look for in a short-term survival scenario is some kind of, you know, already existing shelter, something that can be improvised, like this blown-over log. For a small child like my 4-year-old, you know, just being able to hunker down under one of these logs if it was raining makes a difference in her being soaking wet and not wet at all. And, you know, exposure is really the number one thing that kills people out there. And I can't tell you, there's tons of kids every single year that get lost in the woods, and they don't die from bears and snakes and bugs. They die from exposure, folks. So if we teach our kids, one, how to dress, how to deal with the weather, and then how to set up a shelter, they are way, way ahead. Oh, you okay, baby? So what I'm going to show you right now is just how to throw a quick shelter together with this poncho. Yeah, baby. Yeah, just a minute. Daddy's making you a shelter. So it doesn't really get any easier than this.
Why are you making me shelter?
So in case it rains, you know how to build a shelter to sleep in.
Why?
Because if we got caught in a storm, it could be very serious.
I want to make it feel.
You remember how you were cold earlier when the wind was blowing? Can you imagine how much colder you'd be if you were wet? So just teaching something as simple as this, just tossing a tarp up over the top of a log or a rock or anything that'll get them out of the weather and keep them dry. You know, you've got to stay dry. I can't say that enough. If you get wet, you get in trouble. So just a quick little shelter, taking 5 minutes to teach your kids how to do something like this might make the difference in life and death. Love you.
I want to feel. Hey, that's the same jacket.
Oh man, look at that shelter you're in. It's like a fort under there.
Come on, Daddy.
I can't fit, I'm too big. All right, guys, so I can't say this enough. This little shelter right here that you could literally teach a 4-year-old has saved my life. I was up in, a box canyon up in Montana, stuck in a hailstorm under one of these burnout logs like this, and I threw a tarp over it, and it could have meant the difference of hypothermia and not. So just a simple little technique like this that doesn't take any time or really any investment, $5 poncho from the store, and a little bit of your time, and it might make the difference in your child surviving a wilderness, survival scenario or not. So we covered dangers and we covered shelter. A little bit older child could make a fire in front of, a structure like this, and it would keep it surprisingly warm. But, make sure you catch the entire series of videos.
Okay, so that was a pretty cool video, right? So you can make a shelter with anything. So we talked about how you need to make sure that you stay warm and dry, and you also need to make sure that you find a cozy place, but not a hiding place. If you see that it's gonna start to rain or something, then you should definitely make sure that you have a shelter. So then if you can't be seen directly, it's okay as long as you stay warm, but just keep listening for people. And that's only if it's like gonna rain, do you wanna do that? Because otherwise you wanna stay where you can be seen, right? So cozy place, not a hiding spot. So we have this guild went by really fast. So we just have 10 more minutes of guilds. But if you guys would like to take the last 10 minutes to try to build your own shelter inside, you can get a rain jacket and try to do what they did. So, or if you have a poncho or a trash bag, you can rip the trash bag open so that it's bigger, and then you can drape it over your couch or your bed, but try to make a little spot that you can get under, that you can crawl under. You guys want to take 10 minutes to go do that, make a shelter? Yeah? Okay, go make a shelter and then come back here, and then we'll end. Yeah, Mina?
I made this shelter a few days ago because I wanted to. And it's actually pretty big. I'll go and do it.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. So you guys can go make a shelter if you want to, or you can watch Mina in her shelter. And we're gonna work more on shelters in another day, and when it's not smoky. So if we're online, then we'll do some more stuff outside when it's not smoky, or when we are in person, we'll do it on campus. But we will go over more shelter.
I have a shelter in my room, and I didn't even have to build it.
Oh, really?
I can fit under my bed.
Oh, awesome.
My leaf is a bunch of.
Look at Mina's shelter. That's awesome, Mina.
Can I leave now?
Yes, Parker. Yeah, you can go. Bye, Parker.
And I also have another room in there. It's my little sister Aggie's room.
Oh man, that's cool.
And it also has that.
Oh, it looks like Ellery's in the shelter too. Ellery, what's your shelter?
It's my own bed.
Oh, your own bed has a little tent on it? Cool.
And it fits just right for me.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so you want to find something like that when you're that will protect you and where you can lay down if it starts to rain. Good job, guys. Looks like Celeste went to go build something. Do you guys have any questions about survival beds or quick shelters with rain jackets?
What if you were in the forest and say you found this log that had a little room in it, sort of like a V shape, and you had a like actual big tarp with you?
Mm-hmm.
Could you spread it over the top and then like go in?
Yeah. If it was starting to get stormy, then yeah, that would be a good choice. Yeah, Ellery?
I got a question about something.
Okay.
So, what if you're lost and outside, and then you gotta go to the bathroom?
What if you're lost and then you have to go to the bathroom? Is that your question? Then you should go to the bathroom. You don't want to be uncomfortable, but I would say you shouldn't go wander to go to the bathroom. Stay where you are and go to the bathroom in the woods.
Wait,
But you should definitely go to the bathroom.
if people need to go to the bathroom, how could you like wash your hands?
Well, it's important to wash our hands, but if you're lost and you don't have soap, then you still want to go to the bathroom. Because it's better to go to the bathroom and not wash your hands than be uncomfortable, right?
A good thing if you had at least hand sanitizer.
Yeah, and hand sanitizer is a great thing to put in your backpack when you go hiking, right?
And another thing you could do is you could like rub it against a tree, or if there's a really small stream near you, you could go wash them off in that.
If it's super small though, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to go near large bodies of water. But that's a good question.
If it's like a stream about this big, it's fine. Or about this big.
Yeah, if it's something that's not deep and that you can jump over, then that's okay. But if it's
Well, if it's a river, you probably shouldn't.
yeah, you just want to be super safe. And you don't want to get more lost. Okay, does anyone have any other questions before we end? No? Okay. Well, I will see you guys on Tuesday for Guilds again. Thanks for coming to Guilds. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. I hope you guys have maybe better air this week.
Yes, I hope we all have better air.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.